All right, I will call this meeting to order of the S&A Committee. And it was March 28th of 2024 at 5:10 p.m. In attendance, we have myself, Nicholas Vila, Mia Young, Aaron Sargent, and Joey Bryant. I did that in reverse order for no reason. So, um, we are not able to do the agenda approval or the approval of the minutes due to not having a quorum, but we can move on to reports. I have no report, so that's the chair report. We have any reports from the advisors?
The only things I have is one, the two things that are coming up later on, we'll touch base on there about the policy update, and then the looking at potential changing the quarter part. So the only other report I have is one, we do have a supplemental request pending. So that will be coming. We may get others because it is spring quarter. As you all remember, carry forwards sweep back. So we may get some people coming to request to hold it without getting one now. So this is not me responding to anyone specific. So I'm going to say it under this report. I would encourage you all to probably question whether or not it is necessary for them to keep a carry forward versus recommending that they come and request supplemental, since that's the intent. Anything swept back of carry forward is what next year's committee will have for supplemental. So unless there's really a specific need, I would encourage them to follow that process, because then they're coming in and only using what is needed. And then we may have some people come in because as the end of the year comes up, if people are realizing their budgets are getting short or things like that, they may come in to request supplemental. And I think on those ones, it's important for you all as the committee to look at and kind of review. One, we do want to support and make sure we're providing some stability, but also your all's role is to make sure that the folks out there are good stewards of the money. And so asking the questions to determine, is this because of unforeseen circumstances? Or were you not paying attention to the budget? Or did you just be like, we're just going to spend as much as we want and S&A will save us at the end? I don't think anyone's doing that, but just to keep those in mind. Otherwise, the only part is, as you all can tell from this where we have right now, please, 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 if you know of any students who might be willing to serve, we have a couple of folks I know who can't be here right now, but anyone who's willing to serve just for the remainder of spring quarter, send them to Nick and CWU. It would be great if we can get another maybe 2 or so students for the quarter. Again, we're mostly going to be looking at the policies and then supplements that comes in, but also as we have people coming in, it's a nice if they might be interested or considering serving for next year, to give them a little sneak peek. And next year is going to be the big push. So that's what I got.
And that way we can scare them away before they commit. Okay. Aaron, I assume you don't have anything? Okay. Nick, ASCW.
Yeah, I just have one thing that's coming up April 9th, drag brunch, if you guys are interested. There's going to be a lot of good food, and there's also going to be performers. So if you guys wanted to see that and be involved in that, it's going to be April 9th, 5 to 8. But yeah, that's all I have for updates.
And I'm just going to interject a little bit and say that we also have that President's Brunch thing tomorrow. I believe that's the date for that. I keep getting emails about this thing. I'll go look it up while we have our meeting and put it in the public comment later. But yeah, let's go communications received. None.
Okay.
All right. Great. We are doing public comment then. So speak now or forever hold your Joey.
Forever hold you, Joey.
Yes, I plan to do it.
The two that I have are just calls out for anyone who's interested, but also to encourage folks. If any students who are, and this is for students who will be here attending next year, one, a huge call, if they're interested in serving as the Student Board of Trustees member, please, please, please encourage them to fill out the form. That's open through, and I'm trying to look at my calendar, but I'm being blinded as I look this way, through next Friday. So you have about another week if they are interested in applying. Super important role, also great experience within higher ed, but also just nonprofit board type things. So if they have questions, feel free to send them my way, but please encourage folks. The other one, shifting gears, but also similar, please encourage folks if they are interested or considering and have questions about running for the ACWU Executive Board or Student Senate positions. Registration for those elections is open now. And so please, again, encourage folks there. The other one is you're not running and being elected. It's an application and the governor picks the board of trustees. These positions will be go to public vote for the student body later on in May is when I think the voting will be. So just a call out for both of those.
All right, and I looked up the brunch thing tomorrow. So that's tomorrow, Friday, March 29th. Time is 10 to noon. It's in Barge Hall on the 3rd floor, and they are saying that this is called the Grab and Go Brunch Social. And so the president's office will be there, and students, staff, and faculty are invited to come. So if you want to talk to the president for 0.3 seconds or however long he has, then that's how to do that. Okay, so any other public comments? Okay, moving on to new business. I'm going to turn the floor over to Joey.
Yep. So, and this will be really quick for you all. I'm going to share my screen for the sake of the recording. I'm going to maybe share my screen for the sake of the recording, which means, there we go. Is it sharing the policy? Is that what thank you. Hard part when you have 3 screens is I'm like, I don't know what screen, and you all disappeared for a minute. So really, this is pretty much the main thing we have on our agenda. We've concluded all of the program reviews, all of the annual reports last quarter. So again, thank you all for doing that extensive review, which is awesome. This quarter, and we've been talking about this from the get-go, because of the small committee, I'll talk about the process this is going to look like. But really, as I mentioned earlier in the year, we do need to go through and review our policy, which is on the screen, CWP 840-40, to look at any updates, any edits. I know there's 2 specific pieces in here that we discussed fall quarter that I would recommend we move to a permanent change, but we'll get to that. Normally, this would go and break into a subcommittee who would then bring it to the committee. Given the fact that our committee is pretty small this quarter, I would recommend, and we don't have a lot on the agenda either, that instead we're just going to go through this at our next upcoming meeting. And so we'll kind of go through it. The question or the request I have for you all, and Mia, if you can send this as a reminder for the folks who aren't here, is if you get a chance to go through and review this before the meeting, just to make any comments, edits, tweaks, either to bring to the meeting when we discuss it, or ideally to send to Mia and myself ahead of time. You can just do track changes, even if it's just comments in there, so then we have an idea. But if you can review that ahead of time, otherwise we're going to go through it. And some of these are pretty straightforward, but we'll go through it again, kind of piece by piece. Are there any comments, questions, edits on this? Nope, keep going, yes on that. And then bring those forward. The process after the committee makes our recommended edits, I'll go through and update the document and then run it by you all, is it then goes up through the university's regular policy review. And so this will get reviewed by the CFO and PBAC, but is also reviewed through, because this technically falls under student engagement and success. So it goes through their leadership team and then goes up to UPAC for official approval. So it's a little bit of a lengthy process, but this is what's next on the docket. So if there's questions in the meantime, let me know. But if otherwise, if you all could review it so you come prepared at the next meeting with questions, and we'll start making the edits and updates at that point. That is the game plan.
Sounds good to me. All right, so we're moving on to the spring quarter meeting schedule.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn that one over to Mia, I think.
Yep.
Cool. So I got everybody's availability for this spring quarter. And I'm just gonna share my screen and show you guys a combination of everybody's availability, showing the only opening time that everybody is available for this quarter. And I mean everybody. So without further ado. Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. Just
Where's
gotta-
the dramatic music?
Is this showing? It is showing. Okay, there we go. There we go. So, I'll zoom in
Fantastic.
in case you guys need get a little closer. So as we can see, there's only one time that we're all available this quarter. And I mean all of us. And for those that cannot see, that is Friday after 5 o'clock. Do we have any questions about this?
I have no questions. The only thing I'd say for you all is this is one of the issues we've dealt with in the past when the committee's looked at moving meetings as well. And as you all can even tell, this is with us only having 4 student members and then Aaron, Mia, and myself. And we still only have one other time that is available. So if you all would like, we can absolutely move this and move this next week to Friday and then officially confirm for the quarter. The main thing that I need to stress to you all, specifically the students, is given that there's only 4 of you on the committee now, given people transitioning and graduating and things out, is if you all do not think you can commit to Friday at 5, please don't have us move the meeting just for that, because we really do need folks to show up. So I know only half of you are here, so. But yeah, our option is either keep the meeting at its current time, which we know Alice would not be able to continue serving on it, or move it to Friday, so we would only have 3 members, or move it to Friday at the same time at 5. But then potentially all 4 would be able to attend.
Well, there isn't a quorum to start a vote and a motion and all that stuff, so I'm just gonna say we should do Friday at 5 to 6 because that is the only available slot.
Okay.
And otherwise, if we lose Alice or anybody else by shifting the slot, then we're down another person.
So my plan, since you all can't motion on it, I will make an executive decision as the advisor that for at least next week's meeting, and as you saw, I put on the agenda tentative, but for next week, we're gonna move it to Friday, the 5th, as our meeting time. And then we'll kind of go from there. And so if you don't mind, Mia, on your end, sending just an update out to the whole group to say, hey, based on availability, it looks like the only time that's available is Friday at 5, and let them know we have moved the next meeting for next week to be April 5th, Friday at 5 o'clock. And then we can confirm that that time works and then officially make the motion and change it. If you don't mind sending that, and then also that means we got to change on the website the future meeting dates so they show the right one.
Yep, website, easy, email. Is that okay if I send out tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Perfect. Tomorrow morning. I mean, go ahead, tell your friends if you guys want to, but tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. I'm actually kind of surprised that there was even one slot that, there was open. It's like the birthdays thing, if you get 30 people in a room, the odds of them having at least 2 people having the same birthday are just like 90% or something. Almost guaranteed. All right, well, I think that's it for that. So I can call for public comment time. If anybody has anything to throw in, go for it. This is your opportunity to comment about April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah. So for those that don't know, this quarter, spring quarter began on a Tuesday, versus the usual Wednesday, which means the end of the add drop period, AKA the schedule change period, AKA the due date to pay tuition is Monday, April 1st. So if you have not changed your schedule or registered for classes or paid your stuff, you have until Monday, April 1st.
And I guarantee you that the registrar's office and the cashier's office are not going to treat that as a joke.
It's pretty firm on that 5 p.m. deadline on April 1st.
Alrighty. Well, I think that is it for today. So Joey, I move that you move to adjourn.
So we'll adjourn. We'll say 5:25 for the record. Thank you all. See you next Friday. Don't show up on Thursday. You'll be in the room by yourself. Have a great one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.